Hello everyone, I'm Ben Coleman, one of your many hosts here for the Florida Aviation Network, and coming to you live and in the clear from the beautiful Aerospace Center for Excellence, and actually the Florida Air Museum here on the SNF campus. 45th annual. That means we've been doing this for 45 years here in the event. Here Florida Aviation Network, this is about our, I think, it's our 15th year. I believe it's about 15 years. But it's just, it's been a beehive of activity. Great turnout. It seems to get better and better and better every year. It wouldn't be as good as it is if we didn't have all these fine volunteers helping us here. Got Captain Jack on camera one. Tyler, Daryl, no, Wade, you popped in there. They pulled a change up on me on camera three. Okay, oh, well, we got a floor manager here too, but he's just Bill. Anybody here has ever stayed in a hotel? And that hotel room comes in very, very important for many things. Get sleep for one. But it also comes in handy for something else if you have anything to do with the tourism business. And if we happen to have somebody here in the local area, oh, we do. Oh, Justin, LaFerriere?
There you go.
LaFerriere?
Yes, sir.
I prefer to call it LaFerriere.
I'm with you. I'll take it.
But that's Spanish?
Very French. Close. Okay. They're close, yeah.
Justin, I make fun because we go way back.
Absolutely.
And it's always a pleasure to talk with Justin and find out what's going on in his world, which is Visit Central Florida.
Yes, sir.
And Polk County, and I just realized or learned this, Polk County is the fourth largest in the state.
Yes.
And that gives Justin the opportunity with his crew, and he is the senior.
That's right.
Senior
Visitor Services Manager.
Senior Visitor Services Manager.
He said it makes my business card look good.
Wow, that's got to be a big business card to put all that on.
It is, yeah.
But Justin, tell me what is involved in your day-to-day work, and when we talk about hotel rooms, bed tax, and what that does to come back to the residents and to benefit the folks of Central Florida.
Sure, I'm not sure we've got enough time to really dive too deep into it, but we'll stay on the surface level and hopefully give you some insights. So Visit Central Florida is officially the destination marketing organization for Polk County. So that's a fun way of saying that we get the opportunity to promote Polk County out of market to entice visitors to come stay and play with us. Mm-hmm. And our mission as an organization is to, like you said, put heads in those beds for all of our hotel rooms, our short-term rental accommodations, vacation rental homes, RV campgrounds, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. Anything 6 months or less is classified as a short-term accommodation. So it's our mission to put heads in those beds, and secondarily to make cash registers ring. Because not only do we want people to stay the night with us, but we want them to play here as well. Enjoy the many activities that we have, eat in our restaurants, shop in our shops, and if they're here during this week, come out and partake in what is the largest convention in the state of Florida, and Sun and Fun. And as you mentioned, on a bed tax level, our organization is solely funded by the bed tax or the tourist development tax to be official. And that's a 5% tax that's levied on all short-term accommodations. So, like I said, we're solely funded by that tax. So we're not taking any county taxpayers' money. It's a common misnomer that we're operated out of the general fund being a county entity, but we don't. So I like to tell people, unless we do our job and do it well and putting heads in those beds, we're not operable. So we've got to do our job well and make sure we're putting heads in beds and making cash registers ring.
And Justin, I know we only have a few minutes to develop this, but
Sure.
How do you do that?
Great question. Yeah, it's we've got a very I don't want to sound too educated, but we've got a very diverse marketing mix in the sense that it's again a common misnomer in the industry that print is dead. Well, print's not dead. We often use print media. We have obviously social media and the digital aspect that's up and coming for 10 or 15 years now. It's still thriving and is going to continue to do so. But we're also in print, radio, we're in TV as well. But we utilize a vast array of research to pinpoint target markets throughout not only domestically but internationally as well, that we go after with that marketing mix to ensure that we're hitting the decision makers at the right point in the decision making process to hopefully get them to come to Florida. And when they come to Florida, come to Polk County, because we're up against 66 other counties in the state of Florida and 49 other states in the country that we're competing against to get them to stay in Polk County.
Well, I've seen your trailer, your splash. I think they've been showing it from the production trailer.
Sure.
And it's always well, I'm being a native Floridian, it's always, makes my heart patter a little bit.
Yeah.
When we see all the beautiful flora and the palm trees and, the rolling thunderstorms that come in about 2 o'clock every day in the summer. And by the way, that's not rain, that is liquid sunshine.
You got it.
Legoland.
Some of that today.
You mentioned Legoland, and it's even in your splash there.
Yeah.
What's the latest with Legoland? Are they expanding?
They are. Legoland Florida Resort, been around since October 2011. They're expanding every year. They're growing exponentially. They literally just opened last week a brand new land. They call them lands in their park, but it's the Lego Movie World, that popular movie that's been such a big hit amongst kids. They created a whole new section in the park based solely on the Lego Movie. So they just launched that last week. They're in the process of building their third accommodation on site. It's going to be a pirate-themed resort. So they've got a 150-plus room resort they built a couple years back. They've got the beach retreat bungalow-style resort that is across the street on the lakefront. And now they're bringing in a third resort on site as well. So they're growing beyond leaps and bounds.
Good grief.
Yeah.
And I do miss Cypress Gardens, I do have to admit.
Yeah.
I do that just to give our guys in the production trailer a little heart attack.
I think you just gave me a heart attack.
Oh, that was for you, Obi, too. I just had to get them back because they had your they had your trailer up there. That you were not the previous guest. So I caught that, guys. I catch things like that. Okay,
Keep them on their toes.
Watching you.
I like it.
But Legoland, of course, used to be Cypress Gardens.
Yeah.
And it just brings back so many fond memories, but it's still the same atmosphere around Legoland. So Cypress Gardens, I don't know, are there any tributes over there to Cypress Gardens?
So, yes, to answer your question, Ben. With any park admission to the park, you could still partake in the original Cypress Gardens, the original botanical gardens. That's something that's unique to Legoland. Not only Legoland Florida, but any Legoland worldwide. There's something specific to the area in which they're housed. Mm-hmm. So they obviously saw the opportunity with the Cypress Gardens site. Thankfully, the original gardens were state protected, so they can't go anywhere. But Legoland saw that as an opportunity. Mm-hmm. Came in and built a park around the gardens, so any grandparents or parents or kids can go in and enjoy the original gardens. The banyan tree is still on site. They just reopened the old Florida pool that they made famous back in those older movies.
Oh, with the sarsaparilla girls and the Southern Belle.
They still have Southern Bells, but they're now in Lego form that they've built near the gardens, and they still have a ski show that is on site. So they're still keeping that alive. Obviously, it's not the old Cypress Gardens ski show with Corky and Corkette and that sort of those sort of antics, but they still do have that as well that their guests can partake in.
I'm also Justin. Whenever you see, you remember the movie or seen the movie Lake Placid?
Yeah.
With the alligator, the huge.
I have.
I am so glad you guys have been able to keep the movie people away from Central Florida with the gators and all that. Because we've got a bunch of gators in the water.
We have. There's actually a nature reserve in between Lakeland and Winter Haven called Circle B Bar Reserve that was made famous through social media because of I'll be honest, what looks like a dinosaur of an alligator that just came out and meandered across one of the paths that somebody caught on video, and they posted it online and went viral, and the news stations picked it up. So in my realm with the visitor center out in Davenport, we get visitors in quite often that we mention Circle B, and they go, that was the place where that gator was. So
things people remember.
Yeah.
And Justin, we are here for aviation and aviation safety.
Sure.
And I know you being a staunch supporter here in Central Florida and of aviation, how much flight time do you have, Justin?
If it's not on a commercial flight, very little.
Okay.
I've never been in the cockpit of one. I've always been interested in it.
Okay. All right. There's our segue into your interest.
Perfect.
And how you're going to pursue that interest and take all this wonderful time that you have on your hands after you get all the hotel rooms full.
Right.
We need to get you flight training, man. Where's home for you? I mean, personally.
Right here in Lakeland.
Yeah, this is Lakeland, huh?
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of flight training here at Lakeland.
Yes, there is. None better than right here on site at the Sun and Fun campus with the Aerospace Center for Excellence, for sure.
That's a hint. That's a hint.
I agree. I've got a 9-month-old daughter at home, so my time is taken up vastly, but
Okay,
maybe
I'll give that to you.
maybe in a few years when she grows up a little bit, it may be something I can partake in.
However, there's nothing to keep you from starting on your writtens.
You got it.
Get your nose in the book and get the writtens behind you.
Absolutely.
Because that, ground school is self-driven if you don't go to a curriculum like a 141 school. But you're right in the thick of it, and you'd be a perfect candidate. You're professional.
Yes, sir.
You've been in the same job. You're stable.
Very.
You've been in the same job for 12 years.
Yes, sir.
First job out of college?
Yes, sir.
Man, that's great.
Yeah.
Are you doing a good job, or do you think they're shooting at you? Are they going to eliminate your position?
No,
or?
I think they'll keep me around for a little bit longer. Hopefully, anyway. Knock on wood.
Well, I'd like to interview you here with a little bit more grape. You don't have any grape.
I don't
that
know.
stinks.
It's coming into the beard. I blame it on my baby at home, but because I didn't have any until she got here. But
those sleepless nights will do it.
You got it. You got it. The hair might be gone before it turns gray by the time we get there.
Well, I'm going to say about 2 years. You should be in prime position to get your flight behind you, and to actually use it because Light Sport is here with us.
Yep.
And they have made leaps and bounds of progress in the aviation industry with light sport category, and that's just a stepping stone to who knows. You may wind up being one of the new Mars pilots on one of those Mars
Maybe
shuttles.
Get in with Elon Musk and SpaceX over there on NASA, and we'll see.
Hey, it's you're a young man. Anything can happen.
I preach to my team every day that first-hand experience, nothing else beats it, and with our partnership here with Sun and Fun and the involvement we have throughout the year, what better way to talk about the excellence that they have here than that first-hand experience and being a pilot myself. So never say never.
Well, in your travels, try to identify and hook up with somebody that is that you would identify as a good flight instructor.
Sure.
Because that's a very your initial flight instructor is very key to not only your success, but the speed of your success. Because everybody wants to have anything now. You can't take flight training in a pill. They've tried that and it didn't work.
Yeah, I doubt that went pretty bad.
Yeah, the barbiturates and it just you can study all night long, but then you crash and it's just ugly.
Yeah, no good for anybody.
From what I've heard, I've only heard that.
Not first-hand experience for you.
I've never done the all-night study thing.
Jack,
quit smiling, man. Telling on me. The Central Florida has gone through quite a few changes. And my career, what type of changes are coming up? What can we look at in the future for Central Florida? Any changes that we might be able to see that's going to be manifested?
So our organization is recently big into the economic development side from a tourism standpoint. So we believe in the fact that you have to create the demand, but then develop the supply. So it's a bit of an economics lesson, right? Mm-hmm. And right now, coming down the pipeline, we've had an opportunity to partner with the city and state in a $46 million renovation for Publix Field at Joe Camargo Stadium for the Tigers.
Say that one more time slower. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, the renovation that happened 3 years ago for Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium, where the Detroit Tigers spring train
Okay,
at.
Publix Field. I've been there. It's gorgeous. They did a great job.
We were heavily involved in that. The RP Funding Center right here in Lakeland just had a ribbon cutting in January for their brand new renovations that they've done. We were heavily involved in that. But newly coming down later on this year, you can look forward to the Winter Haven Fieldhouse and Conference Center in Winter Haven. Much like the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, it's going to be a 86,000 square foot indoor field house. So think volleyball, basketball, wrestling, cheerleading, any sort of sports that we can recruit and bring to Polk County. We'll house there, meetings and conventions as well.
Motorsports, anything like that going on? Because the monster trucks are really popular with us good old rednecks here in Florida.
So Polk County doesn't have a whole lot of infrastructure in that sense. What we are developing rapidly are the endurance races. So think Tough Mudder, the Spartan races, Tough Mudder. There's another one that escapes me right now, but they're big right now. So we're doing a lot of those. Actually, next week, the Ironman 70.3 is going to be back in town over in Haines City. It's a half Ironman. So if you like to swim, bike, and run, that's the premier event in Polk County.
Do they do a 8th hour man?
Yeah, no.
Because I could put in for maybe a 1/16th hour.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, they do a team portion. So if you have a couple buddies, or maybe more than a couple buddies that can do the swim or do the bike, and then maybe vice versa.
Maybe swim like maybe 25 feet, and somebody else tag up another 25 feet.
I'd be right there with you. I don't think they'll do that, but you never know.
Yeah, every time I get in the water, somebody's always just embarrasses me by calling whale. So I guess that's an indication I should lose a little weight. But I've been bodybuilding here over the past year.
You look good.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Look good.
Thank you. I haven't missed any meals.
That's good.
But I
That's
could probably so with your 9-month-old daughter,
Yep.
hopefully you can introduce her to the world of aviation, being here in actually the training center for aviation, thanks to the James Ray and all of the other folks, not just James Ray that had the vision for this, but there's so many people. Polk State. Eric Crump is just a real champion for pulling things in.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear a radial engine with a big prop on it.
I'm glad you could tell that. I've been here for so many years, I still can't tell what's what. I know when the fighter jets are coming. It's usually a duck.
Yeah, they will be here Thursday, I think.
Yes, that's what I hear.
Yeah, that sounds like it was probably a T6.
Okay.
And you know why the props are so loud?
Why's that?
The tips are breaking the speed of sound.
Really?
760 miles an hour, and that when it goes through that barrier, that's what makes it bite and bark so loud.
Learn something new every day.
It also loses efficiency, but that's another another show. But Justin, thank you. Is there anything else as we wind it down that you'd like to share with
For
us?
anybody that's watching, or yourself, or anybody on your team, we're on site here right on the corner of Tom Mack and Laird Boulevard. We're the big blue building with yellow trim. We've got great orange juice, or liquid sunshine as we call it, that we're handing out. We have Miss Florida will be on site later this week. You can come meet and greet Miss Florida as well. So we've got a great opportunity. Just come by and say hi. We've got all the best information you can get.
How much time do we get with Miss Florida?
Probably enough to take a picture.
That's not enough time.
Yeah, no.
And orange juice. Now, the orange juice is, to be honest with you.
Sure.
All right. Now, we boast fresh squeezed orange juice.
Yeah, I can guarantee you.
This is fresh squeezed?
100%.
It doesn't come out of a can?
You got it.
All right.
Guaranteed. It's from Ridge Island Groves in Haines City. I know the gentleman that owns it personally, Archie Rich. They squeeze it themselves. The only place you can purchase this orange juice is at their grove in Haines City.
But now, when we go by the booth, are they there squeezing it?
No, it's already squeezed from them. We pick it up every morning from their location and bring it over.
Okay.
And then keep it on ice.
So it is literally fresh squeezed
non-pasteurized, fresh squeezed Florida orange juice.
Okay. Do you boast that when you at the booth?
Absolutely, yes.
Does it say fresh squeezed?
We've got signs out front.
All right. But in this world we're in,
We do not have vodka for it. I do want to mention that. No vodka to pair with it.
well, tequila goes well with our cheese too. A little bit of splash of grenadine, a little sunrise.
I hear you.
But Justin, the thing, what is your biggest takeaway? And we're going to wind it up on this.
Sure.
There's so much more I want to dig out of Central Florida and how it meshes with aviation safety. I guess I'm going to have to leave it to your daughter, because that's the new generation.
Absolutely. Everything's changing rapidly, but like you said yourself, we're the Center for Aviation, so you can come stay and play, learn how to fly an airplane, and enjoy yourself.
Your daughter's name?
Lincoln, like the president.
Lincoln.
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right. Well, we look forward to seeing Lincoln
Yes.
come walking around here at one of these Sun and Fun
She'll
events.
be here soon for sure.
Justin,
Man, thank you, sir.
thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
And Lincoln, take care, sweetheart, because you got a good dad here.
I appreciate it.
Work him hard. Work him hard.
She does already.
We're going to wind it up on this interview, but we will be back for more exciting, just like this one, from the Florida Air Museum, 45th Annual Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo. I'm Ben Coleman, one of your hosts. See you next interview.